Welcome to the Matrix Oracle, everyone. My name is Audrey. I'm your host for this Astro Forecast. So July 4th and 5th, 2023. So happy 4th for everyone in the United States. I'm going to wait and see if we have some people that want to know what's up in the energy field. There's been some two different feedbacks that I've been receiving from people as far as this full moon. Some people have been going through this a little bit easier. Some people have been struggling a bit. So there's some reason why, again, we are being called to ascend. Ascend to what? To a highest version of ourselves, to be more in alignment with our authentic self. And we are experiencing, again, I love to say what I am sarcastically feeling very strongly, which is the yod. So yods are sacred geometry that can be formed in the sky when we have very sharp angles, and that creates not a triangle or perfect trine, which is flowing and lucky and full of movement and flow. It's like, so it creates a tension like a finger pointed. This is called the finger of God. This is kind of what I'm doing right now. Pay attention, people. Okay, and we have it here. You see it? Let me see if I can. Okay, so those two green lines here, okay, between Pluto retrograde, Neptune retrograde, smashing at Mars and Venus, kind of like hanging in there, okay? So we have this energy that is pointing out certain energy and frequency to pay attention to. Your environment, as far as your entourage, it's coming back again and again. But the specific last degrees of Leo are very much about you transcending certain energy blocks, certain negative conditionings, such as victim mentality, poverty, maybe, past failures, some type of greed, superficiality, things that are not serving humanity. So we are here literally being pointed the finger at what is in your life that you need to release. It's not me, okay? I'm just a messenger, okay? All right, if we don't like it, well, we got to deal with it. And the energy is strong because we have two big players, okay? Neptune, that is trying to help you close certain energy doors in terms of things that we're repeating, things we keep on attracting, okay? And a master teacher here of power. That means you have a creative power. You want more? Well, okay. You have to understand some of those energies. Thank you so much for the badge. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so we have here this teamwork to make the dream work, okay? And what was interesting is that when I was doing the calculation, thank you, some of the energy especially that came up are jealousy and conflict between two people, okay? So jealousy is something that I channel. So some of you know I do frequency healing music. I studied for 20 plus years music. I went to college for it. I was a professional singer, performer, so I kind of know the vibration of things, and I studied music technology. So this is my forte. I love it, and I love to use mantra, the power of the voice, the power of some of the sacred sounds, sacred prayers, in order to alleviate all those ailments, things that are not serving us. So some of you, especially if you're an empath and you've been suffering from the past dynamics with narcissistic personalities, maybe your parents, maybe some of your past lovers, people that manipulated your mind and your heart, okay? So I have specific playlist and frequencies that you can use. So one of them is to remove some of the psychic debris from narcissism. Okay, this is in my bio link. You can go on there and you have access to frequency healing music. Okay, so definitely this one. I'm going to release, after I'm finished with all of this and type it up, the last chapter is, because there's 6 chapters, same music Say music. Why? Because every chapter that has a certain activation, your brain is going to remember it. It's going to register it. So we can literally process, just like a computer, okay, more information, more data, and also remove some of those negative conditioning. So the last one I'm going to release, be on the lookout. This is going to be released today. Psychic manipulation, and that means coming from broadcast, coming from projection of what people think of you. So this is what that's great, thank you. That's what actually is here with the another quincunx. This is not a finger of God. This is just one of the alignment, one of the quincunx, and it's between Mercury, that is very close to the sun, and it goes to the moon. This energy is starting to form as we are approaching more of the 5th. I'm downloading some of the information for some people that are in Australia, India, and all this. You might be already in this time zone. So this line of energy is actually talking about other people's attachment to the version of you. That means the version of the old you that was still maybe hang on, the version of you that you needed to build in order to survive. And now you're expanding to a version of yourself that wants to thrive. But what does that mean vibrationally? Vibrationally, you changing is inviting them to change too. And change towards a version that they might not know, might not even know the process of ascension, they might not even meditate, they might know nothing about the power of sound, the power of, the laws of the universe. So you knowing all this, and you having all this type of energy, you will kind of bring this to the table, whether you speak about it or not. Your vibration speaks. And that means you can trigger people. And you might be affected vibrationally, whether they speak to your face or not. Whatever people are saying about you. As far as like, oh, she's changed, he's changed. They're not the same person. I like that version better. Oh, you used to have fun. You used to be fun to be with, to hang out with. Yeah. Well, if that was just drinking and getting high, been there, done that, okay? So some of you, this is what is being created through those very strong energies. We have the full moon that is, really sending out those informations through the moon codes, through the sun codes. This is something that I share with people that are following me on the temple. So we're meditating together, we're doing frequency and energy work together, and I'm going to share that little advice for you. You can actually charge some water. You have to use a glass water. It needs to be transparent glass, okay? And get some of the light codes, so some of the codes through the sun. We have a very strong alignment with the constellation Sirius. Cyrus. Oh my God, why can't I just get it? It's very serious, people. Cyrus. The constellation Cyrus. This is not my first language, FYI. Okay, so you can get, with the alignment of the constellation, with the sun, some of the downloads. This constellation is very well known for the process of healing yourself, birth and rebirth. That means you birthing a new version of yourself. Right now is like super topic of the world right now. Everyone is feeling that there's some parts of themselves that needs to die. Okay, it doesn't need to die. It needs to be let go of so it can be alchemized and transformed into something greater. And that means vibrationally, it can create a little bit of anxiety. But realize anxiety is you being off alignment with your higher self, with your sacred self, with your divine self. When you kind of like let go, you'll feel the anxiety just kind of like wear off. Some of you, if it's still predominant, please use music frequency. This actually helped me even just be able to meditate. I was not able to meditate For a whole year, I was only able to listen to frequency at night because I was so stubborn. My ego was so, okay, my emotional field was so congested by things I didn't understand, by things that were just like stifling me, stifling my life force, stifling my creativity. That sound was the only way I could do it, and I could only do it at night. Because my mind during the day was like, not working. Well, you can try. There's no, you're sleeping. So some of you might be at that level where you're still kind of like trying to understand how things are being processed through the energy work of vibration. This is a law, the law's resonance, the law of vibration. So some of you, you're learning those things, and you're also seeing that you changing is affecting your relationship to others. And that means like, it might be calling you back. You're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Even though you worked on yourself a lot to be able to speak up. And then you might be doubting yourself. So some of the people that are struggling with self-expression, this is definitely something that's in the works right now, because we have Mercury. This is bringing your, consciousness in alignment with a way of speaking about yourself and of your life that brings you comfort. Thank you so much, you guys. Why is the moon so far south in the sky? What are you talking? Well, here, you guys, when I do those predictions, I have to take some type of random time, and usually I take it towards the end of the prediction. So this is kind of like how everything, right now we really have just the moon is transiting here, because remember we had a full moon in Capricorn, so the moon is transiting through July 3rd to July 5th here, okay? And this is very much about trying to deprogram you. But Capricorn is very mental. Okay, Capricorn wants to understand, wants to make sense, but the sun right now is in Cancer, which is very heart-centered, and there's this type of opposition, polarity that we have to transcend. You have to follow the things that feel good for you, and that means sometimes just walking away from certain conflicts, situation, and bringing comfort into your daily life as far as like what does feel good. Maybe that's just going home after work, it's not like hanging out with people that are going to talk about things that you might not be interested in anymore. Okay, so I know this is a lot of shift. There's a lot of energy here that wants you to be on purpose, that wants you to find your access to your creative selves, to everything. And instead of looking out there, outside of yourself, for inspiration, for your creative strike and things, it's just like, remember that when you're watching people that you admire or you envy or you wish you could be like them, what you envy is not what they're doing, is what they're vibrating to. And what they're vibrating to is usually something that they enjoy. You don't have to do the same thing to be in that state. Actually, it doesn't work. But it can start you on the process of feeling in alignment. So this is why you have to watch things that make you happy. Be in alignment with people that make you happy. What they're doing, if it makes you happy, what you're watching is their happiness. It's not the things they're doing. I could be doing like this, and maybe that would make you happy. I don't know. This makes me happy. So you're watching really happiness in motion. Okay, so what I'm doing, it really doesn't matter. It's the emotion behind that either attracts you or doesn't attract you. Okay, everybody's got their choice. No offense taken there. Okay, so that's what we have in the works as far as understanding is watch things that bring you happiness. Watch things that make you uplifted. Witness people around you that have those gifts, because when you do notice those things, you know it is there for you also. There's no separation. You being able to witness blessings, love, gratitude, things that you want to manifest is actually the universe saying, see how great your life can be? It can just be this, and you just piggyback on the vibration of people that are inspiring you. It's a collective work. We're doing this, all of us, together. So be inspired. This is really the message here as far as those energies, and you're invited to remove some of the old predicament, old programs, and my way to support you in this process, thank you, is through my music. Okay, as far as using certain type of frequencies, using some types of brain waves, using certain mantras. Sometimes there's mantra, sometimes there's no mantra, sometimes it's subliminal, sometimes it's a little bit louder. Okay, I experienced on myself before. So we have some new ones that I'm working on with people that are meditating with me, and I'm looking forward to share this because this is going to help with the Merkaba. And what I mean by Merkaba is your ascension vehicle. So I'm going to be downloading some type of series about ascension. So ascension music to help you regulate your Merkaba. That means your feminine and your masculine. Right now we're living in an environment where the masculine is spinning a little bit overstimulated, and the feminine under. Okay, so we need to regulate this type of rotation. So that means the flow of energy on Earth can be a little bit more balanced. Okay, and that means it won't be as hard for people to tap into their gift, to tap into their intuition, because the spin, that means how does your life spin? Just like, okay, everybody's more in the mind versus the heart. So this is why it's spinning reality in a certain direction, just like an orbit. Yes. So that's what you can expect on this channel. Thank you so much for being there. I really appreciate it. It's been growing and growing, almost 100K, something I've always wanted to reach. So I'm very, very thankful and grateful, and I wanted to share this today with you guys. So thank you so much. Namaste.